In 1996, Michael Jordan injured his back when going for a layup against the Miami Heat. At this point in his career, Jordan had 3 championship rings under his belt, so he had access to the best of care. So which chair did he end up going with to help him recover? This custom-made one here by Neil Taslitz. There aren't many pictures of this chair, but something you might notice is that the front of the seat is actually tilted forward. Neil Taslitz came up with this design based on the work of Dr. A.C. Mandal. This forward tilt is also seen in the highest end chairs like the Herman Miller Aeron and the Haworth Fern. And this company, Levitask, is saying not only is tilting better for your spine and overall health, but that they have perfected it, making a new kind of seating possible. They call it elevated seating. Here's what the designer of Michael Jordan's chair, again Neil Taslitz, had to say about the Levitask chair. And I'm heading out to New York to check it out. Let's get honest. This video is sponsored by Levitask, but that doesn't mean I'm endorsing this chair. It means they're paying me to go to New York to check out the chair and give my honest thoughts on it. Keep in mind that I'm only gonna have a couple of hours with the chair, so if you want a full in-depth review of the final product, let me know in the comments below. Yo, that's so sick. Also, they are launching the chair on Kickstarter, which is inherently risky. I believe credit cards are no longer offering chargebacks on Kickstarter projects, so keep that in mind. The chair I tested is an early pre-production prototype, mostly serving as a proof of concept. Because this is an early prototype, there are a lot of placeholder materials that will not be on the final production model. Because of this, I'm gonna mostly give you guys my thoughts on how the chair functions and call out critiques for Levitask to hopefully implement it as they move to production. The first thing to know is that to use this chair fully, you will need a standing desk. Let's start from the bottom with the legs and casters and work our way up. The chrome legs look great. It's wide enough to rest your feet on, but you won't really be able to rest your feet on the legs in this type of chair. The casters look great and roll really nicely even on this softer gym floor. Looking at the mechanisms under the chair, on the right side, you have a lever, which reminds me of the katana from Mortal Kombat. Looks pretty awesome. And this raises the height up and down. Now, in a chair like this, getting the height of the chair is going to be extremely important. This is why they offer 2 different cylinder heights depending on your height. I'm 5'6", so I'm using the shorter cylinder. On the left side, you have another katana-looking lever thing, which tilts the chair forward. Now, this mechanism works so well that I was pretty shocked. When you pull it up, you can adjust the tilt forward or back, and it has an infinite adjustment. So the moment you release the lever, it's gonna stop the chair in that tilted position. Now, around 10 degrees is where I felt the best on this chair. I was shocked at how natural this position felt when sitting in it and how this chair easily encouraged good posture. Like, I really felt my back felt so natural and so good here. I know you might be wondering if I felt like I was slipping or falling out of the chair. I think this is the #1 concern when you look at videos and pictures of this, but that was not the case at all. I'll talk about it more in the seat section, but some people on Reddit talked about how looking at the chair made their calves hurt because it felt like they had to put all their pressure on their feet. But again, I did not feel any extra strain anywhere on my body. It's kind of insane how good this thing feels. The forward sitting isn't a new concept. Kneeling chairs, active seating chairs, they all use these same ergonomic studies to show that this is the ergonomically superior way to sit compared to traditional office chairs. Now, this tilt can be as deep as 18 degrees, and in 18 degrees, I honestly felt like it was way too deep and I felt like I was falling out of the chair, so you might as well stand at this point. Again, I do feel like 10 degrees is probably the most natural feeling. A quirk to know about the Levitask chair is that while you can have the seat at a standard 0 degrees like you see on every other chair, you're not gonna have a way of sitting upright when the seat is in that position. You see, the backrest is positioned pretty reclined back at the 0 degree seat position with no way of tilting it forward. It's really only meant to be lounged back in when you're sitting in this position. One last adjustment you have under the chair is a knob at the very far back. This knob down here allows you to adjust the backrest depth in and out, and that actually controls your seat depth. The knob is pretty difficult to turn, but when you loosen it, the backrest can slide in or out. A theme that's going to come up over and over again is that this chair is heavy because of its heavy use of aluminum, and almost every component of this chair feels heavy. Now, Levitask says that their final version will be much lighter, but in this chair, moving the backrest in and out was tricky because it weighs a ton. But it was a one-time set and forget configuration, so not a deal breaker. I'm 5'6", so I had the backrest in as far as it would go, and that allowed me to get 2 fingers between the back of my knee and the front edge of the seat. You'll notice that there is no tilt control of any kind in this chair. No limiters, no locks, no tension adjustments. It's something that I wish they had, especially a tension adjustment for when you want to lounge back in the chair. Moving up to the seat. So this seat is their special sauce to prevent people from feeling like they're sliding out or falling out of the chair. The mechanism's geometry and trajectory of movement helps you stay completely in the seat without ever feeling like you're slipping or falling out. It does feel really different from other tilting chairs. This is what separates it from an active seating stool or a kneeling chair. You actually get a full-on seat that elevates, and it feels like you're sitting just like normal when you're actually kind of standing. It's actually pretty wild. Also, you can see in the booty area, it gets more concave or bucket-like, and then ever so slightly rises up where your thighs would rest. And I was worried that this would cut off some circulation on the legs, but that was not the case at all. They also utilize these little grips here to help you feel super stable in the chair. I purposefully wore slippery pants, sexy pants, to really see how stable I felt. And again, I did not feel like I was slipping out at all. But at the most extreme angle, at 18 degrees, I did feel like I was falling out. And at that point, you might as well just stand up. Moving to the armrests were my least favorite thing about this chair. In terms of motion, it goes up and down, but barely, and the thing moves forward and back and can swivel in multiple positions. I found that the armrests were too far wide out to ever use while I type, and while that's not great for me because I'm smaller, it could be a big plus for my broader friends out there. They will have an armrest option that swivels up and out of the way, which is really cool, but I didn't get to test that version. Moving now to the backrest. So in the natural usage of the chair, I barely interacted with the backrest because when you tilt forward in the chair, it's a similar sensation to mounting a horse. You can mount a horse and sit on a horse just fine without anything supporting your back. And again, feels so natural to do, feels so good like that. But what makes this chair unique compared to all the other chairs on the market that try to do this forward tilt thing is the fact that you have a backrest that you can rest on if you feel like you need a break or you want to lounge back on. So what does that backrest feel like? Well, it has a slight bump in the lower back area, and the cushioning feels fine, nothing really spectacular. The backrest is pretty stiff, and it doesn't really move that much as you move in it as well. To reiterate again from earlier, when you have the seat at 0 degrees or flat like you would with most office chairs, the backrest is much more reclined. The most frustrating part about this backrest is the knob in the back that you use to adjust the backrest height. So, like the knob on the bottom of the seat, this knob is really difficult to crank, but once you get it loose, you can move the backrest up or down. And again, just like the seat, the backrest is very heavy. Moving up to the headrest can move up and down, but again, barely. It can also move in and out, and it's held in place with just tension. Now, I found that the headrest moved really easily when putting very slight pressure on it, and this is something that I reported back to Levitask. The headrest cannot swivel, which is disappointing because I know people like putting the headrest on different positions and areas of the head, so something that I also want to see improved, but there are no hard edges anywhere on the headrest, so it didn't dig into any part of my neck or head. We're actually checking out the chair in Dr. David Culla's chiropractic office here in New York, and he's also going to be checking out the chair on his YouTube channel, but while I've got him here, I decided to get his quick thoughts on the chair. So Dr. David Culla, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Sure. I'm a chiropractor in New York City for over 25 years. I'm also an advanced certified ergonomics assessment specialist. I've done ergonomic studies for small, medium, and large companies for several years now.
So in your opinion, who do you think this type of chair is best suited for?
Everyone. This chair can go in a regular ergonomic 90-degree, typical chair. When I say 90-degree thigh to torso angle, but it also has the ability to go to a 120-degree angle. And anybody that sits all day long for a job has either back pain, neck pain, knee pain, reduced circulation in the legs, varicose veins. This can help with all of those things.
Every chair is making all these claims about how it can solve cancer, basically, right? What do you think is the most valid claim about the Levitask chair?
Well, I think the beauty of this chair is it's a totally unique way of thinking of sitting. So this chair bridges the gap between standing and the ease of sitting. This chair is able to open up the angle between the torso and the thigh, tilting the pelvis forward naturally, creating that natural S-shaped curve in the spine.
So your back is able to kind of sit more up like this, like sit like you're standing, or my back would be in my standing position kind of thing?
Yeah, but with better posture because that forward pelvic tilt, because the bottom tilts forward, you can change that and it'll improve that curve in your lower back without needing a back support.
And that's something I definitely felt in the chair for sure. So what do you think is the weakest claim about the Levitask chair?
Well, I think if people are looking for that magic bullet, that chair that's gonna fix their back pain, their knee pain, their circulation into the legs, This chair can significantly remove pressure on the discs, the lower back, the neck, the knees, and overall help engage the muscles. But nothing replaces chiropractic or physical therapy or just stretching and exercise on a regular basis. And that cannot be forgotten no matter what chair you're sitting in.
Levitask is offering 2 different versions of their chair. You've got the Vision X, which is the high back headrest version. That's gonna be around $2,000 retail price. And then you've got the Vision Y, which is a mid back, and that's gonna be around $1,200. And of course, on Kickstarter, the whole incentive here is that it'll be a lot cheaper than retail. As for the warranty, they're offering 3 years warranty on the leather arm pads and the upholstery, and a 10-year warranty on everything else. Final thoughts. I know there's gonna be a lot of skepticism when you look at a product that looks like that, when every chair that we know in existence looks like this. I personally felt the Levitask Vision chair was helping with my posture, and it felt so natural to sit in, even though I was kind of standing up. But because the chair is using so many placeholder materials, I can't figure out right now how comfortable, like in terms of the seat cushion, the armrest cushions, like I don't know how comfortable the chair is gonna be. Levitask clearly has a lot of work left to do, but what I saw, it's really promising, and I personally can't wait to get a production model to fully test out. And if you guys wanna see me review the final production unit, personally, I would love to test it as well. Let me know in the comments. And do you plan on backing this product? Do you believe Levitask can address it before they ship in May of 2026? Let me know in the comments, and until next time, stay honest.